What if I told you the food you're feeding your cat every single day is silently changing their body, their behavior, even their lifespan? And the craziest part, most cat owners think they're doing the right thing, while unknowingly making one small mistake that can backfire badly. So before you open your cat's next meal, you need to see this. Do you actually know what happens inside your cat's body when you start feeding wet food every single day? Because most people think it's just a better option, a simple upgrade from dry food. But what's really happening is a full biological shift that affects almost everything, from their kidneys to their weight to the way they behave around you. And one of these changes can either improve your cat's life dramatically or quietly cause problems if you're not careful. Let's start from day 1. Their body finally stops running on survival mode. Have you ever noticed your cat barely drinks water? That's not laziness. That's not attitude. That's evolution. Cats were designed as desert hunters. In the wild, they didn't walk up to a water bowl. They got almost all their hydration from their prey, which means their bodies were never built to rely on drinking water separately. So, now, here's where things go wrong. Dry food contains around 10% moisture. Wet food, around 75 to 80%. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between dehydration and natural hydration. So, when you switch to wet food daily, your cat's body reacts fast. Their hydration levels rise. Their kidneys stop overworking. Their urine becomes more diluted, which directly lowers the risk of urinary crystals and blockages. One of the most dangerous and common issues in cats. In simple words, your cat's body finally stops struggling and starts functioning the way it was designed to. And this one change unlocks everything else on this list. Their weight changes without you trying. Here's something most owners get wrong. If your indoor cat is gaining weight, it's not always about how much you're feeding. It's about what you're feeding. Dry kibble is loaded with carbohydrates. Some brands go over 40%. But cats? They're obligate carnivores. Their bodies are not designed to process carbs efficiently. So what happens? Those extra carbs don't get used. They get stored as fat. That's why so many cats seem always hungry, not even when they're eating enough. Now, switch to wet food. Higher protein, higher moisture, lower carbs. Suddenly, your cat feels full faster and stays full longer. No constant begging, no endless food searching, just natural satiety. So, if your cat has been gaining weight and nothing seems to work, it might not be your portions. It might be your food choice. Their coat exposes the truth before anything else changes. You'll see it here first. Your cat's fur, because the coat is a direct reflection of internal health. Dry, rough, flaky fur, that's not just a grooming issue. That's a nutrition signal. Wet food delivers what your cat actually needs. Real animal protein and essential fats. Not heavily processed fillers. And within weeks, something noticeable happens. The coat gets softer, shinier, healthier. That dull, dusty texture starts disappearing because now your cat's body isn't just surviving. It has enough nutrients to actually thrive. Their behavior around food completely changes. Now, this part surprises most people. If your cat screams for food, eats too fast, wakes you up early, you might think, that's just their personality. But it's not. It's a response. Dry food digests quickly. No, low moisture, high carbs. So your cat feels empty again. very fast. That's why they beg. That's why they act desperate. But when you switch to wet food daily, everything slows down. Protein triggers real fullness. Moisture adds volume. Your cat eats and actually feels satisfied. So instead of chaos, you get calm. They eat and walk away. No drama, no obsession, just balance. The hidden mistake that can backfire. Now here's the part almost no one talks about. And if you ignore this, everything we discussed can go wrong. Wet food is not like dry food. You can't just leave it sitting out all day. The moment it hits room temperature, bacteria starts growing fast, sometimes within 1 to 2 hours. So if your cat eats a little, walks away, and comes back later, that food might already be unsafe. And the worst part, you won't notice it. It looks normal, smells normal, but it's not. So here's the rule. Never leave wet food out for more than 2 hours. If it's unfinished, throw it away. Store leftovers in the fridge and use them within 48 hours. And one more detail most people miss. Cold food straight from the fridge? Cats don't like it. In the wild, prey is warm, so slightly warming the food makes it more natural and more appealing. So yes, feeding your cat wet food every day can transform their health, behavior, and overall life. But only if you do it the right way, because the difference between helping your cat and quietly harming them comes down to small details that most owners completely overlook.